Welcome back to the Thrifty Food Plan channel, friends. Today, I am going to be sharing my top 5 frugal foods with a bonus category. So, this is the Thrifty Food Plan channel, and one of the things I love about the USDA Thrifty Food Plan is that it does sort of give us a focus on each of the nutritional categories: vegetables, fruits, grains, protein food, and dairy. And I'm going to give you my number one pick in each of those categories. Plus, I'm going to tell you what my frugal buy is always going to be in the miscellaneous category, which is, you know, miscellaneous is the stuff that's not actually like Whole Foods. You'll see if you don't know. All right. So, when I was thinking through this, the things that I considered in picking my top frugal food item for each nutritional category was cost. I have to like it. And then, whatever that item is, it needs to have multiple uses. And as we get into this, I do ask that you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, do all the things that you can to help this channel and help this community. So, what are my top frugal food picks in each category? Let's get to it. All right. So, in the veg category, I don't buy this all the time, but if I were only going to buy one veg, this is actually the veg that I would buy: a big bunch of spinach. This one's getting a little wilty. But in the veg category, I would buy spinach, and that is because I like spinach. It's usually less than $2 a bunch, but more than that, you can use it for a lot of different things. You can use it for salads, you can use it in smoothies, you can sneak it into sauces. And I always want to be eating kind of a leafy green. A lot of people don't eat like the stems on the broccoli, and I just want to the stems on the spinach, and I just want to flag for you that you absolutely should save those, and you can eat them in smoothies, right? The leaves you can use for salads and maybe to get some veg into sauces, that sort of thing. But the stems, I save them and I use them in my smoothies, and it's perfectly delicious. All right, so my pick in veg, if I were just going to buy one veg that's frugal, I would buy spinach because I like it, it's cost effective, and I can use it in a lot of different ways. In the fruit category, it's a little bit of a tie, possibly a three-way tie, but I would say, sorry, I've got them down here. Bananas are something that I buy, and apples are something that I buy. And you can see I buy the little smaller apples. It's a tie for me because bananas are clearly the cheapest fruit at nearly every grocery store, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. You can snack on them. I freeze them for smoothies. I freeze them for ice cream. You also can use them in baking. And so they have multiple uses. But the truth is, I don't love a banana for a snack. It's like not my favorite fruit to snack on. I do, however, love an apple for a snack. And an apple also can be used in multiple ways. I can eat it as a snack. I can chop it up and put it in a little water on the stovetop, add some cinnamon and a little bit of tiny bit of brown sugar, and it makes a delicious kind of dessert, just kind of baked apple. I also sometimes have made applesauce out of whole apples when I need a replacer for oil. So they're just like a ton of things that you can do with apples, and I prefer an apple for a snack over a banana for a snack. But bananas are super useful too. One of the things that you can use apples for, in addition to all of those things, is that you can put them in my favorite grain. And no surprise if you watch this channel, my favorite grain are oats. I eat oats almost every morning, and you can buy a 42-ounce tub of oats for about $4, and that's sometimes less depending on where you shop. And that is a whole month's worth of breakfast, right? So you also can put apples in your oats, chopped apples in your oats, and that can be super, super delicious. All right. And you can obviously eat oats for breakfast, but you can make cookies and other baked goods out of oats. And in a pinch, you can grind these up and make oat flour. So they have multiple purposes. And that is one of the reasons why I love me some oats. All right. In the protein category, had a hard time with this, but my pick is going to be lentils. And lentils are not always super cheap. This bag is a 1 pound bag. I got it at my Kroger equivalent. It was $1.99. When you can find them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, that is a super good deal. I'm picking lentils because about 8 servings a pound, so that's 25 cents a serving, even at the higher price. But these suckers are just so variable in use. So like I use just plain lentils as a protein to put in a salad. You can use them in like Buddha bowls, that kind of thing. But more than that, you can use them as like a ground beef replacer in almost anything. So tacos, burritos, like spaghetti and marinara sauce, lentils. They're also great in curries and stews and soups, and I have like an Italian lentil soup, stew, chili kind of thing that I make with lentils. Lentils are just really, really diverse, and they can take on a lot of different flavor profiles. All right, in the dairy category, and I don't have one with me now, but my best frugal buy in dairy is always going to be the unsweetened plant milk that the Dollar Tree sometimes has. And it'll come in like a quart size like this, but for $1.25, you can't get it any cheaper at any grocery store I have ever been to. And, I use plant-based milk in my coffee every morning. I use plant-based milk to make nice cream. I put a splash on my oats in the morning. And I also can use, some milk, some plant-based milk in baking when I'm baking things. So like the Dollar Tree plant-based milk is probably the best dairy deal in my life. All right, and then in the miscellaneous category, the number one frugal food buy for me is always going to be like the cheap spices. Now, Dollar Tree is now $1.25. My Kroger equivalent, this used to be $1. It's now like $1.23. But the Walmart still has some spices for $1 a container. And spices are what makes food taste good. So this is leaf oregano. I would use this in marinara. I'd use it in soups and stews with my lentils. I'd use it in a lot of different ways. And, spices really are the spice of life when it comes to eating frugally. You need some good spices. And if you go to the Walmart, you can still get them for $1. So these are my picks. My best frugal food bet in veg is usually going to be a bunch of spinach. In fruit, it is usually going to be bananas and or apples. And I would say, if there is a loss leader at my Kroger and a fruit is at 99 cents a pound or below, I will buy that fruit just to give me a little bit of variety. And then in grains, it's always going to be my oats. Protein, I am picking lentils. Dairy, I am picking Dollar Tree plant-based milk. They do carry unsweetened varieties, which is important to me. And then in the miscellaneous category, I am picking the dollar spices, the cheapest spices you can find. So these are some of my frugal food best bets, and I would love to hear in the comments below kind of what your go-to frugal food items are. And I'd love it if you could think about, the cost certainly, but also it's got to be something that you really like to eat, because if you don't like oats, that's not going to be your pick for grain. And also just think about the different ways you can use that item. So if you had to pick one item in each category, fruit, veg, grain, protein, dairy, miscellaneous, if you were picking it on a frugal basis, what would you pick and why? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments below, and do come back on Thursday when we will have another grocery focused video.